6 great artists murdered for their art. 1. Pier Paolo Pasolini's murder is still a mystery. Pasolini made the controversial film Salo. It was a scathing critique of Italian fascism. On November 2, 1975, Pasolini was murdered. He was repeatedly run over with his own car. The murderer was 17-year-old Pino Pelosi. He initially claimed it had been self-defense. The director had supposedly threatened him, but 30 years later, Pelosi changed his story. He said the murder had been orchestrated by neo-fascists. Pelosi said 6 thugs had ambushed him and Pasolini. They murdered the director and left. Pelosi was the fall guy, as they had threatened his family. 2. Ana Mendieta's husband may have been her murderer. Ana Mendieta was a video artist, known for her earth body artwork. She was married to sculptor Carl Andre. As Mendieta became famous, Andre's art was forgotten. In 1985, Mendieta fell to her death from the 34th floor of her apartment. When the police arrived, they found the bedroom in a mess. Andre had scratch marks on his nose and arms. He was arrested and charged with murder. His lawyer said she had committed suicide. In the end, Andre was acquitted in a non-jury trial. 3. Theo van Gogh was shot dead in the street. Dutch filmmaker Theo van Gogh was Vincent's distant relative. He made a controversial short film called Submission. It criticized radical Islamism and its treatment of women. In 2004, Theo was shot while riding his bike in Amsterdam. His murderer was 26-year-old Mohamed Bouyeri. After Theo fell to the ground, Mohamed came over. He stabbed him and slit his throat with a knife. Then he pinned a note to Theo's body with a knife. It threatened Jews in Western countries. Bouyeri is serving a life sentence. 4. Giuliano Murkamis was assassinated for his Orwell adaptation. Murkamis was an Israeli-Palestinian filmmaker. He founded Palestine's Freedom Theater. It was known for staging controversial productions. Murkamis's last work was a production of Animal Farm. Actors were dressed as pigs, violating the Islamic taboo.
I'll be killed for corrupting the youth of Islam.
Murkamis joked. On April 4, 2011, he was shot dead in his car in Jenin. The murderer was allegedly a member of the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades. The only suspect was released after DNA evidence exonerated him. 5. Finn Nørgaard was killed while discussing freedom of speech. Nørgaard was a Danish documentary filmmaker. In February 2015, he was attending a conference in Copenhagen. It was called Art, Blasphemy, and Freedom of Expression. Midway through the event, a gunman burst into the lobby. He opened fire with an assault rifle. Nørgaard rushed the gunman and tried to wrestle his rifle away. He was shot at close range and died, but his intervention bought time for the police to arrive. Nørgaard was the only person killed in the attack. The gunman fled the scene and has never been found. 6. Karel Hochler was killed for criticizing the Nazis. Hochler was a major figure in the early 1900s Czech cabaret scene. He transitioned to filmmaking during the silent movie era. Then Czechoslovakia was occupied by the Nazis. Hochler added anti-German lyrics to his most famous song. One of his colleagues turned him in. The 62-year-old performer was arrested. Hochler was sent to the Mauthausen concentration camp. He died there in December 1941. Hochler's song became a rallying anthem for the Czech resistance.